Fudakes? Yes, see what that means today on Let's Cook.
So I did follow in my dad's footsteps. I don't know that it was conscious. I had decided that I wanted to go to culinary school, and before he would agree to that, he said, "Okay, but you have to work in some real kitchens first." So he connected me with a friend, and I started working, in prep and pastry at a kitchen, and really fell in love with it.
I guess the favorite was when he like made me go on the show and he was like, just tell everyone you like blueberry scones. I was like, I don't. I'm like, can we just make a burger? Like, just no.
A lot of people say I'm a very good cook. I wasn't formally trained, but I was because I grew up with my dad. I also grew up with my mom and my sister. So they're all bosses in the kitchen. I really like to experiment with food, and I love to bring people together around my table as well.
Hi, welcome to Let's Cook. Fudakes. Do you want to know what it means? It's a food ache. We get a lot of emails to Let's Cook, and these are food-related questions, so I'm calling them Fudakes for food aches because people are having certain problems with different items. One happens to be potato pancakes. Another one happens to be dried pork chops or pork cutlets. And another one happens to be caramel sauce. But before we can get started on those, I need to bake some apples to go with the potato pancakes. So I'm just going to get those in the oven. I'm actually going to show you in a short segment exactly what they look like. I'm just taking the Macintosh apple that I have right here, and I'm just going to core these out. I'm going to actually leave the skin on them. So we'll just take our apples. We core them out, get rid of that core. Then we're going to set these up in a baking dish right here. Into each one, we put just a little bit of butter. Then on top of the butter, we're just going to put about an equal amount of brown sugar here. So just a little bit of brown sugar right on top of the butter there. And into the dish now, a couple of cinnamon sticks, a little bit of water. We're going to bake this in the oven for about 30 to 45 minutes covered. And I already have some done here, and I'll show you exactly what they look like because they look fantastic. And I did not peel these because we're actually going to pull the skin off and set these baked apples up on top of our potato pancakes that we're going to make in the next segment. Now, we're going to take a little break, but before we take that little break, I have to introduce my father-in-law to you. This is my father-in-law, Al Martin. He's been my father-in-law for almost 30 years, and I'm sure when we come back from this break, you're going to have some good stories, right, Dad?
Right on.
Okay, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. It's Fudakes today on Let's Cook with my father-in-law, Al Martin. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook. I'm here with Al Martin, my father-in-law. Al, you've been cooking for a long time, haven't you?
82 years.
You've been cooking for 82
Ever
years?
since my birth.
When you were born, you started cooking right away, right?
They told me I was cooking. I was
Hold on. Now, where were you born, Dad?
in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
1920.
In 1920?
Yeah. February the 23rd.
February the 23rd. So you're coming up on 83 now.
83.
So
Quick.
I'm just glad you could be on the show with me today.
And I'm happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here. Now, what are your favorite things? Now, you also cooked at the firehouse, right?
I did. And
You
my
did?
wife used to make these potato pancakes, and I'm sure Paul's going to make them just like she did.
Okay, so the one thing that we have, Dad, that I like to use is I like to just take the potatoes and grate them fresh. I don't really like to wash them in water or put them in water because then you lose the starch. So I'm going to take a little bit of potato here and grate this, and I also grate onion into it. Dad, now, did you ever make these in the firehouse?
No. Made soup, but not potato
Soup.
pancakes.
Now, come on. Tell me, you have some great stories about soup. Tell me about when you used to make soup.
Today, I used to go out to the butcher and get bones, just bones. I don't think people do it anymore.
Just bones?
Just bones, big beef bones. And then go to the vegetable store and get soup greens. I don't think they have them anymore. I don't know. It used to be a big bunch of soup greens for 15 cents. And then go to the Jewish store and get the big, delicious rolls. And we made soup, and everybody was in for 10 cents a man.
Really?
Everybody
10 cents
at
a
that
man.
price.
What year was that?
You got me there. 1960, 65. I retired in 1976.
So,
But then I went to another job after that. I drove a doctor. And that was the end of my fire department career.
okay, well, look, I got onion, potato, a little bit of flour, 1 egg, just 1 egg. There we are. And a little bit of chopped parsley. Already he started to heat the pan. The one thing that, now I think it was Mary Ellen that wrote in.
Hi, Mary.
Mary Ellen. And she was unsure on how to make potato pancakes the way her mother did. So I'm making them the way Ma used to make them, or your wife Helen used to make them, which is just the raw grated potato, a little
She was
salt,
Polish,
pepper.
by the way.
She was Polish, but she made great potato pancakes out of this world. So you're gonna watch these for me
I will.
while I make them. So I'm just gonna take them like this. I like them nice and loose like this, because Mary Ellen, she was having trouble getting them nice and thick and really brown like her mother used to. So we're gonna let that huge potato pancake cook. You're gonna keep an eye on that for me?
My glasses are clean. I'll
Your
find
glasses
I'll
are
get
clean.
it.
You're gonna find it?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to start with another item here. Now, Joan wrote in, and Joan said, Paul, my pork chops are always dry. So if you're going to make dry pork chops, first of all, you have to realize that when they breed the pork, the pigs now, they're breeding less saturated fat into them so that they can end up being very tough or overcooked. So we're going to do a classic item today, pork chop charcuterie. Charcuterie just simply means that we're going to use a little bit of brown sauce with some sliced gherkins, a little bit of white wine, a little bit of mustard. Very simple, very easy.
Fancy cook.
No, I'm not. Here we are. So we're just going to heat our pan right here, Dad. Now you're going to watch this because I know that when you come and visit us, that you always you love to fry things, right?
I put in.
So I'm going to put a little bit of butter.
Says I fry too much.
A little bit of olive oil. No, frying is okay. I think frying's okay. Thinks frying's okay. How's the pancake doing?
Doing good.
It's doing
I'm
good?
watching it.
Okay. I have my pork cutlets right here. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and I'm just going to brown these up in the pan. Turn them over. We're not going to dredge them in flour either. Just turn them over this way. I can fit about 4 into the pan here. All right.
I'm watching it.
Just going to start this. How's that doing?
It's not brown yet.
You know, that's so thick, we might have to finish that in the oven.
I don't think so.
Okay. No?
In the
Not at
firehouse,
all?
we did it all in the
In the
pan.
firehouse, it's all in the pan? I think we're going to lower your heat down there just a little bit so that can start to brown up. And I'm going to start to brown up my pork cutlets here.
The only way we
Jeez,
ruin cooking it, the only way we ruin cooking in the fire department is we get an alarm.
Uh-huh.
We come back and everything was burnt.
Everything would be burnt?
If we forget to turn it off.
Yeah, but they used to love when my father-in-law cooked at the firehouse because they used to pay for their own meals. And he is by far one of the most frugal cooks that I know. Absolutely. You're not frugal?
No, you know I'm easy with a buck.
You-
My daughter has a 100-acre farm. I'm easy with a buck.
That's another story. We're going to take a little break. And then when we come back, we're going to finish this potato pancake with the baked apples, finish our pork cutlet charcuterie here. Plus, we have another wonderful item with a caramel sauce that you're going to love where we're doing Fudakes today on Let's Cook. It's only Fudakes. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook, where we're talking Fudakes. I'm here with my father-in-law, Al Martin. And Dad, here's our potato pancake now, right? So we're going to take this potato pancake. Would you say this is perfect?
Perfect.
Perfect. We're going to put on a little bit of paper toweling here. You want to do that for me, Dad, please?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Now, you used to cook in a firehouse, right? What
230
firehouse was that?
237 engine on Morgan Avenue in Brooklyn, right next to Boar's Head, the finest meat you could buy.
Well, I don't know about the Boar's Head finest meat you can buy, but
We were right next to it. Believe me, we ate plenty of it.
okay. Now we're going to take our potato pancake right here. Put that right there. What else do you need for that? We need the apple here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we baked the apple here. This way, you can just pull the skin off, and this is in lieu of applesauce, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I love applesauce with my potato pancakes. I'm just going to pick up this baked apple right here. Put that in the middle. A little bit of the syrup out of the dish right here. And then to finish that, what's
Did I
it?
say
What,
that?
yeah,
Sour cream.
sour cream. Got it. A little bit of sour cream right there.
Oh, God. Must be heaven.
That looks really good, Dad. Okay, now we have to finish our pork chop charcuterie.
Okay, whatever that is, I
that's
don't know.
Charcuterie, yes. Classic dish. So all I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to take my pork, going to put it right here, drain that off. Now you see the excess fat I have in here? Want to make it a little healthy. So we're going to get rid of that excess fat. Pour that off right here. Okay? Into this pan now, I'm going to get my shallots. A little bit of shallot here. Okay? I'm going to let that start to cook off. In addition to the shallots, we're going to deglaze this with just a little bit of white wine. Okay, you ready? I know you never cook
It's
with
going
wine.
to flare up.
No, one flame. One flame. Just going to let that cook down. Now, I also need just a little bit of mustard to go in this, too. We're going to add just a little bit of mustard to this and let that mustard flavor cook out. And we're using a Dijon mustard, and the Dijon mustard has a little bit of wine into it. So we're going to do that,
Is
too.
that
So
like
I'm
when
just
you
going to
drive
take...
up in a
Huh?
Cadillac? Pardon me, do you have any Dijon?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, boy, what a bunch of
Little
baloney.
Dijon. So we're going to use a little grainy Dijon in there. Beautiful. Okay. You're going to keep an eye on that for me a
I
second?
will.
Okay, good. Now, when that cooks down and it's almost dry, I have just a little bit of brown stock here. Now, brown stock is made with brown veal bones, but if you have any pork gravy, any beef gravy, anything like that, please feel free to use it. We're going to add that to it too. Let that cook. In addition to that, just a little bit of powdered sugar there. Okay, that complements there. You have your acid balance, and we're also going to acid and sweet balance. I'm
Am
going
I
to get a
wrong?
strainer here.
Oh,
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dad. What's the question?
Am I wrong if I put sugar in, a little bit of sugar in tomato sauce? You know, tomato for spaghetti?
No,
It
you're
takes
not.
the
You're
acid
not
out.
wrong.
I like that. It takes the acid
you, like,
taste.
you like a little bit of sugar. You can also add carrots.
We had an
You can
Italian,
also add sweet
we had
basil,
an Italian guy in the fire department. He
Uh-huh.
made spaghetti. Mwah.
just like that. Now I'm going to take this sauce now, and I'm going to strain all these solids out of here. Okay, because we're going to do this with a little bit of finesse, right? We're going to take this now, let this cook down just a little bit with a little bit of lemon juice here. We're also at this time going to add your favorite, my favorite. I don't know, is it your favorite?
This is my fascinating. I'm
Huh?
fascinated. I don't know anything
You're
about this
fascinated?
fancy cooking.
Okay. Yeah, but you know, when you used to cook in the firehouse, it wasn't fancy, but it was always good.
It was good.
I try and do healthy cooking here. A little bit of butter in
I
here.
didn't say it wasn't healthy.
We let that cook down.
It's just fancy.
We'll take our pork cutlets now, which are still nice and hot. Going to set them up on a platter here. Okay, now this is essentially a sauce Robert.
Pardon
It's
me.
spelled like Robert, but it's sauce Robert. Going to take our pork cutlets right now, set them up right here. Okay, get rid of that there. And then we're going to finish these with the sauce. My sauce is now done. The only thing I have to do is I have some sliced gherkins here,
Ooh.
or diced gherkins here. Take a little bit of diced gherkins right there,
I
and we
always
take
think-
our
I
sauce.
thought gherkins come in a small bottle.
Well, they do, but these are already diced up. We're going to take and just put our sauce right over top of these like that. And now these pork cutlets are not going to be really tough. They're going to be nice and tender so that, Joan, when you make your pork at home, don't overcook it. Cook it very fast, remove it, keep it in a warm oven, and you will not have those dry, chewy, tough pork chops or pork cutlets. Nice and slow. You can sear them, then lower the heat. They don't have the fat that they used to have. And Mary Ellen, try this potato pancake recipe. I know you're going to like it, and it's going to come out very similar to how your mother's came out, where it's nice and crunchy on the outside, moist on the inside, has that wonderful potato, onion flavor.
Mary and Joan, I'm coming for dinner.
We're going to take a little break, and then when we come back, we have a caramel sauce that we're going to make to go with our poached pears, but we're actually going to use a poaching liquid to make that delicious, creamy caramel sauce. So it's Fudakes today on Let's Cook. Those are just means a little bit of food ache. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook. I'm here with my father-in-law, Al Martin, and Dad, Gene, or Gino, wanted to know how to make a caramel sauce.
Hi, Gene. Hi, Gino.
Now, to make the creamy caramel sauce, I'm going to poach some pears and then use that liquid to make the poached pears. And I need you to keep an eye on this sugar right over here. That's for the caramel sauce. Okay,
I got
Dad?
my eye. It's red hot.
Okay, now in here, I'm going to take a little bit of water, a little bit of corn syrup. You can get these exact measurements on my website. Some sugar. And we're just going to start to heat that up to poach our pears in. Okay, just a little bit more water in there because we can cook that down. I also would put a little acid in here, just a little lemon juice or even white wine works good, Dad. Which would you prefer, lemon juice or white wine?
Lemon juice.
Lemon juice. Okay, now, the pears, I already have one peeled here. Remember we went and saw Aunt Martha and she gave us these great pears?
From Oregon.
From Oregon. So we're just going to peel the pear here. Let's see here. If I got my peeler right. Just peel the pear, going from the top to the bottom, leaving the stem on.
I got a question for you.
Yes, shoot.
How come when you say a pear, it's not two?
You know what, Dad? I would think that, you have a few more years on me than me that you would know the answer to that question.
There's a lot of things I don't know.
But do you know what the answer is to that? Why is a pear not a pear? Or when is a pear not a pear?
Uh-huh.
Okay. This could get pretty scary, Dad. I'll tell you. Okay, so we peel our pear. Now, to prevent it from oxidizing, take a little lemon juice, just rub it on it. That'll prevent it from oxidizing. How's your sugar doing there?
It's boiling.
I need you to shut this. We're going to shut this off for a second. Now, the pear, we'll take and we'll cut the pear in half. Then with the core right here, we're just going to come in and remove where the seeds are right there. Pop them out.
When I eat an apple, I eat the whole thing.
Pop them right in here. Let them cook covered just until they're nice and tender. Okay, you have to baste them every once in a while. Cook them covered. This is what they look like when they're done. Now, I've already removed them from the syrup here, and we can tell that they're done because if we take a knife and we go in, there's no resistance or the same amount of resistance. In addition to
That's the same as saying bread is done.
the pears, exactly.
Not bread, a piece of cake.
In addition to the pears, I like to take some kumquats right here, slice them so they're about 1/8 of an inch thick. Take the kumquats right here and drop them in that liquid too, and they're going to actually candy up. So I already have some done here, and what we've done with this liquid right here, we remove the pears, and we also have, I've removed most of the kumquats, but you can see here where we have a syrup consistency here with this. So, Dad, if you could take out the rest of these kumquats for me using that spatula right there, I'm going to start to set up the plate for the pears. I'm just going to take this pear right here, and all we're going to do with this is I'm just going to cut this and fan it.
I come from
This
Florida.
is a great dessert, huh?
Talking about kumquats. I come from Florida,
Yes.
and I'm in this guy's yard, and he says, taste one of these. It was a loquat.
It was a loquat. What's
So
a loquat?
Don't ask me. Like a kumquat. I don't know. But I take it home, and I get the pits, right?
Yes.
I said to my wife, I'm going to plant them. That tree grew up so big, I couldn't get the only thing I could get it was squirrels.
Okay, well, the only thing you could get was squirrels?
No, the squirrels got the loquats.
Okay, all right, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pan now and I'm going to finish it and make our caramel sauce now.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Too
so
hot. It's good thing you went over there.
we're good. I'm just going to bring this up to a boil now. Now, while this is nice and hot, that syrupy consistency, brought it up to about 244 degrees. I'm going to add a little bit of butter to this. Along with that butter, I'm going to add a little bit of heavy cream.
You know, this guy's Canadian. I can never get used to the fact that he keeps the butter out of the refrigerator.
Yeah, I do.
I got bowled
I
out
keep
when I
my
put the
butter out
butter
of the
in the
refrigerator.
refrigerator.
Where did that come from? Because I'm using butter in my caramel sauce here?
Yeah, it always comes up when I see butter.
But this looks good. And I know that Gene or Gino, the reason we have to say Gene or Gino, right, is
Hi,
because
Gino.
they, on the email, it was Gene, but it was also Gino. And in case you're just joining the show at the end of the show, these are, we're calling these Fudakes. Now my caramel's done. Okay, we're just going to let that sit and rest there just a little bit. Now, if your caramel gets a little too hot, you can either cool it down with a little bit of butter or a little bit of heavy cream. How's this look here, Dad?
Because I
We have to let this cool down now.
put a word of caution. That stuff is hot.
Very hot. Yes, very hot. Need a little bit more cream in here. And we got some great caramel sauce going on right here. Also, you know what gives caramel its flavor? The caramelization of the sugar plus the butter that's going to go in there. Going to get a real nice shine to this caramel sauce, Dad. Doesn't this look great? What do you think?
I just tasted your goulash the last time.
You just tasted
and
my
it was
goulash the last
It was
time?
delicious.
The only thing we're going to do with this, Dad, is I'm going to take this and strain it because sometimes you just get a little bit of seed in there from the kumquat. So we're just going to strain this off here a little bit here. And we have a wonderful creamy caramel there for, who's the person, Dad? Gene. Or Gino.
Oh, Gino. I'm sorry.
And this is going to go right over our poached pear right
83,
here.
My brain is a little...
Let me just get a little bit more of this sauce over the poached pear. I think this caramel sauce looks really good with this poached pear and kumquats right here. In addition to this, for our Fudakes today, for Joan, we did the pork, and Mary Ellen, we made the wonderful potato pancake with the baked apple and a sour cream. Dad, thanks for coming on the show. I love you. Everybody
I
out
love
there,
you. I
thanks
love
for
you.
watching
I love
Let's Cook.
everybody.
You have a great day. And remember, Fudakes are fun to fix. We'll see you next time.
Play it
Bye-bye
safe.
for now.
Don't smoke.